Hello everyone, this is Alucard DeVille. I'm here today to talk to you about a little game that you all might know. It'll come out pretty soon. It's called Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Now I've been hearing a good amount of complaints about this game, and by that I mean I can't go to a single Banjo site or page on YouTube without hearing one of these aforementioned complaints. I'm here today to tell you all to shut the fuck up. Seriously, there are so many little dipshits complaining about the new designs. Look, okay, I'll get to all that soon. I really wish I wouldn't have to do this, but you all leave me no choice. I mean, you treat Rare like it pushed you off your bike or stole your girlfriend or something. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to disassemble each of your little complaints one by one. Okay, number one. New character designs. Now, believe me when I say that I could have sympathized with you, quite a while back when they first gave me that little teaser trailer, with the new character designs. At first they did look a bit retarded to me, Banjo looked a bit blocky, and Kazooie, actually I didn't have any complaints for Kazooie. But I admit, as I kept tuning in, getting more information about the new Banjo, piece by piece, and, you know, hearing the name Nuts and Bolts, looking at the trailers, I admit the designs, I grew attached to them. Don't like it? Then that's your choice, because no matter what you say, Rare certainly isn't going to change them just for you. Number 2. The vehicles. Now I've heard comments like, oh my god, they're turning into a racing game, or other stuff like that. I personally think that Rare, a company that has been built on originality, fun, and jaw-dropping graphics, have made a very unique twist on the platforming genre. Now in the original 2 games, and not counting Banjo Pilot or Banjo Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, you'll learn moves from collecting notes to progress through the levels and get jiggies and such. Now we have interchangeable parts to make vehicles to progress. Now you're not limited to how many notes you have or what moves you know, but your only way to progress is by what parts you have on your vehicle and how you built it, really, leaving you to solve challenges using the power of your imagination, like thinking outside the box. Now, any company that does that seriously has a lot of originality going for them, and if you can't see the originality in that, then I feel deeply sorry for you. I personally can't see why so many people have a problem with the new vehicles. From what we've seen, there are very little racing elements in the entire game, or so we can tell from screenshots and trailers thus far. So, you can stuff it on that note, because Rare already had a bad racing game involving Banjo, which I regrettably bought at full price. Moving on. And the third and final complaint here, or at least the third and final the biggest complaint, screw it. Number 3, Rare without Nintendo. Now, come on you guys, I really thought we were over this one. Yes, Rare is not with Nintendo anymore. Big fucking deal. Rare aligned with Microsoft is not going to ruin the franchise, as so many people say. Microsoft are not a bunch of greedy bastards that bought Rare out of spite to Nintendo or whatever. What happened was this. Rare was a second party for Nintendo, making games such as Donkey Kong Country, Killer Instinct, Diddy Kong Racing, Jet Force Gemini, the list can go on and on. Now Rare wasn't making money from Nintendo at the time. Nintendo wasn't making much money from Rare. So, well, we all decided, and by we all, I mean Rare and Nintendo, obviously. Rare offered a good share of their company up for sale to the highest bidder, and Nintendo offered their collective share of Rare, or what they had. Now, Microsoft bought them all. Microsoft now owns Rare, and they are a first-party developer. End of story. You want to cry about it? Go knock yourself out, you whiny little bitch. But Rare is not going to come back to Nintendo. In fact, I think Rare has done quite well with themselves without Nintendo, with titles such as Viva Pinata. That was really good. Even Grabbed by the Ghoulies had its moments, so deal with it. Now, in conclusion, I do think Rare is doing just fine with Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. If you wish to argue your point with me some more, don't put a text comment on this video, because I'm not going to read it. I very seldom read text comments, and yeah, I'm sorry. But if you do want to argue this with me, put up some legitimate points, post a video response to this. I don't mind. I mean, I have no problem with people thinking different with me. All I'm saying at this point is that you other Rare fans seriously need to take a good fucking look at yourselves. Whether or not Nuts and Bolts will be a good game, no one knows at this point. I'm not even claiming that it will be, descended from heaven to bring us all to the second coming of Jesus or whatever. But what I'm saying is, yes, Banjo Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts may very well be a bad game, but I don't want you all to condemn it just yet. I mean, just because it's doing something completely different with the franchise and not following with the same exact formula, despite that from what we've seen, there are a couple on-foot platforming sequences. I mean, you didn't hear people complaining about way back when with, say, Super Mario 64. You didn't hear people complaining like, oh, Mario should only stay in 2D. Because it did something different with the franchise, and as I recall, a lot of people, including the Banjo Kazooie games, followed with pretty much the same formula with that. Or how about Resident Evil 4? If I recall, that game did something completely new with their franchise, and was ultimately praised for it. And I think the biggest thing that we should all be thankful for is that even if you don't like this game when it comes out, Rare is also making an enhanced remake with the same graphics of Banjo Kazooie that can be downloaded very soon on the Xbox Live Marketplace, I believe. And it'll have complete, yes, stop and swap capability. Now, you can complain all you want about the game, but you have to admit that is pretty cool. Well, in either case, we can all decide this November whether or not this game will be good. I'm Alucard, and I'll see you later.